Intercepting sword technique. Descend to Earth! We're in trouble now. What are you made of? Strike! Melt!
Lower your weapon!
Leap through clouds!
Nap time.
Yes, you! Thousand wonders to raise your fight as one! Melt! Slap!
Treasonous!
Descend to Earth! Let's be friends. Melt! Mountains fall! Right on time.
Pray.
Flee!
Just a scratch.
Hold your breath!
Don't come in!
Fiends or devils! I'll crush them all!
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Protect me! Thanks for the support.
Let's make it quick. Rules are made to be broken.
Retribution!
I'm gonna hold everyone back again!
Get them!
Commencing support. Ready for another?
Let's go.
The redemption! Execute the judgment!
I'm scared! Enemy
Strike
data
one.
secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Give me strength! Thanks for the support. Don't...
Fiends or devils! I'll crush them all!
Rules are made to be broken.
I can do this!
Get them!
Prayers won't help you.
Enemy targets detected. Ready for another? I'm gonna hold everyone back. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Get them!
Let's make it quick.
I've lost my way.
Everyone's talking about this seawater magma flavored snack. It's becoming all the rage on quite a few planets. I've heard they extract seawater and combine it with magma from the mountains. The taste is pleasant, but I personally have a soft spot for pastries that showcase more organic flavors. Speaking of which, I heard it's become quite common to photograph these delicacies and upload them to social media, and that doing so can even earn you sample treats from different purveyors. However, I must admit, I'm not really skilled in that area. Do you have any advice? Oh, is that all? Sounds great. I'll give it a go sometime. I wonder if you'd be interested in seawater magma-flavored pastries. Should you take a liking to them, I'll make sure to prepare more next time.
Phew.
What's up, Pom-Pom?
Just got a message from the Xianzhou Luofu. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going? Soon, the Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary War Dance. Those who have aided the Luofu in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the Xianzhou. Thus, on behalf of the Seat of Divine Foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony. Your presence would be greatly appreciated.
Well, things aren't getting lively. We've barely recovered from the family's Charmony Festival, and we're already being invited to another special event.
Yeah, me too. But wait, won't it look unprofessional if we attend 2 ceremonies in a row? Aren't we supposed to be focused on restoring astral charts and doing some serious scientific exploration?
So we should leave March behind to take care of the Express?
Hey, that's not what I meant. I'm all for some fun. I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like Friday or Saturday.
The Xianzhou Luofu has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
But that's what everyone said before we went to Penacony. You'll be totally safe under the family's protection.
No need to worry. The war dance is not like the Charmony Festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abominations of abundance and protected the Xianzhou ships. Aside from star skiff performances, it's mostly martial contests. Nothing too different from the Taiki and Roboball contest we've seen before.
What do you think, Himiko? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to Amphorius for refueling.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared before moving on to the next stop. With Madame Herta's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from Kalinga Abyss to Ron May, member 81 of the Genius Society. It could earn us some favors before we set off. However, it may take a few weeks.
Aw, so that means we're not going to the Luofu.
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, March. Since we've been invited, it's only right for the Astral Express to attend the ceremony. So here's the plan. Pom-Pom will take everyone to the Xianzhou Luofu. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with Ron May and fulfill our promise. Meanwhile, you, March, and Don Hung will represent the Express and attend the war dance.
What do you two think?
Himeko and Mr. Yang will be busy with serious research. Besides, fossils can't compete with martial contests when it comes to fun, right? Plus, you're the only one with so many friends on the Luofu. I'll be lost if you don't come along. You've gotta lead the way.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to warp to the Xianzhou Luofu.
Kalinga Abyss. What does she expect to find there? Current research on the Leviathan merely proves how little we know about such life forms.
That's why geniuses are interested in that field. Science is all about uncovering the unknown. Don't miss us too much. If I stumble upon some cool Leviathan fossils, I'll bring a few back as souvenirs for you.
Himeko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan fossils and the war dance, the latter definitely sounds more fun. By the way, Danheng, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the Luofu, right?
And just let you two wander around aimlessly on the Luofu by yourselves? I don't think so. Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The ambrosial arbor crisis just ended, and both the long life and short life species are still feeling uneasy. And that's why Jing Yuan wants to organize the war dance, to show that the Xianzhou Luofu is stable and safe. And since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
Coming back to this place brings back so many memories, you know? Well, it's nothing too poetic. I was just thinking about all the twists and turns we went through when we first arrived at the Xianzhou ship. This time, we're not being forced or enticed or chasing after wanted criminals. And we didn't have to sneak in through the cargo dock. This trip has been incredibly smooth. Quite unusual, I must say.
I agree.
Is the Starskiff Haven always this crowded? Oh, there's so many people here. I can barely hear anything.
Yanqing said General Jing Yuan sent him to welcome us. But where is he?
Let's wait for him in front of the loom. It's the most prominent landmark on the dock.
Hey, you guys! Hold on a moment. Did they just call us? Look at their outfits. They're from Penacony, right? Are you familiar with the Xianzhou Luofu?
We know a little bit about it. What do you need?
We're from Penacony. Maybe you've heard of it. We came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making dream bubbles.
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about coincidence.
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the Luofu?
Exactly! We're Xianzhou experts. Most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war dance. And that's why we're here too.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
I've heard the ring was actually converted from a huge decommissioned Luofu fighter jet. The radiant feldspar is bigger, I guess.
But for now, all we can do is wait until the war dance starts in a few weeks before we can board it. We've still got work to do, so we can't just sit around waiting for it to start. That's why we're asking you about some must-see attractions.
We're looking for unique experiences that you won't find on Penacony. Our clients love these kinds of dream bubbles the most.
You're the expert here. Give them some suggestions. Oh yeah! Fixed-Roll Garden! It's famous for supernatural stuff. With those mischievous heliobi floating around. It's pretty fascinating.
Supernatural? I don't really like scary things, but our clients will love it.
Ooh, it does sound interesting. Let's go check out Fixed-Roll Garden. Maybe we'll bump into each other there.
Look, Yanqing's here.
Really? Let's go catch up with him.
I'll be waiting for you, my dear.
There you are! Everyone, this way! Hey everyone, it's been a while.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you. But, Yanqing, are you?
What's up, Miss March?
They say kids grow up really fast. Yanqing, are you a little bit taller than before?
We've only been away for a few months.
Long time no see.
It's been a while.
Oh, you've come along too, Mr. Danheng. Sorry for the delay. With the upcoming war dance and the Starskiff Haven being so busy, things are a little hectic.
Seriously, I've never seen the Luofu so lively before.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff Haven, I understand why General Jing Yuan chose this timing.
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who have come from afar. With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. The Cloud Knights are working hard to keep the security tight.
The General said this ceremony would help the Xianzhou Luofu recover from the crisis. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to promote trade and peace. By the way, the Xianzhou Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The Xianzhou ships, the Zhuming and the Yaoqing, have both sent messengers to offer their blessings. Yeah, I wonder if you've heard of it. It's known as the Star Forge, and it's responsible for providing more than half of the Cloud Knight's armaments. The Xianzhou Zhuming boasts skilled craftsmasters, and General Huayan is a top-notch craftsman himself. If only I could get a sword forged by him, I'd be on Cloud 9.
By the way, Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking your ear off. The General wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astrum. He's been eager to hear about how the Express has been doing.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can really see his childish side.
I agree.
All units, assemble quickly! Get ready to protect the crowd!
I just mentioned security, and now all of a sudden something's gone wrong. Excuse me, I need to go check out the situation.
We'll go with you.
Watch out for this!
Protect the civilians. I'll deal with him. Borison? Why are there Borison here? This ends now.
Stay back, Clara.
Watch your head. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Fight is won! Confiscated! Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game!
Not good. Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
Wait! My sword! I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for now. I need to find out what's going on.
While we appreciate your rescue, my Xianzhou friends, don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection until we figure out the source of the attack. Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and your cargo go.
But this shipment isn't even meant for the Luofu, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
According to the protocol, All cargo arriving on the Luofu must go through inspection.
Oh, but we didn't officially enter your dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the Borisons.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead to a resolution.
How dare you detain our ship? Who do you think you are?
Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment. I take full responsibility.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now, tell me, how did Borisin prisoners end up in Starskiff Haven? According to the protocol, Borisin prisoners should be held on a starskiff and taken directly to the shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the ground. Who allowed a prisoner transport ship to dock at the passenger terminal?
Please don't blame this captain. This incident involves the Zhu-Ming's diplomatic vessel.
Who are you?
I'm Lu Jun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yanqing. The situation unfolded rapidly, and it shouldn't be held against the captain. Here's what happened. An IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin just before arriving, and the Zhu-Ming's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue. They fought off the Borisin pirates and imprisoned them on their ship.
So, an IPC ship was attacked by the Borisin near the Luofu, and the Zhu-Ming envoys saved them? Sounds complicated.
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. Zhu-Ming diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal to hand these criminals over to the Luofu. You know, with all the outsiders flooding onto the Luofu, the Starskiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisin desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport Starskiff could get there. And that's what you just witnessed.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. I'll report it to the security department of the Realm Keeping Commission and ask for their cooperation in handling the aftermath. Maybe I should gather more details from others so that the Seat of Divine Foresight can have a better understanding of the situation.
Oh, you look much maturer now, Yanqing.
Please don't tease me, Miss March. The situation on the Xianzhou before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble, capable of generating far-reaching ripples with even the slightest disturbance.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters we just dealt with?
Yeah, those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They are abominations of abundance, and we've been fighting them for a very long time. The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time, plundering and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the Swarm disaster, and the Alliance even had a fierce war with them 3 decades ago. And their presence has faded over the years. But who would have thought?
According to that officer, they attacked an IPC ship near the Xianzhou Luofu. Such a brazen attack seems quite unusual to me.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. It seems like the IPC and the Borisin have some serious grudges. Well, enough with the chit-chat. The General wants me to take you to the Palace of Astrum. I'd love to chit-chat a little longer, but there are some things that can't be left unchecked.
it a serious matter? Maybe you'll need our help in hunting down the Borisin?
Thank you, but it's no big deal. By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm Keeping Commission to see if I can get it back.
I doubt she did it on purpose. Perhaps she's around here somewhere. Shouldn't we take a look?
All right, let's not keep the General waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent. It shouldn't be too hard to find her.
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
Those guys are terrifying.
We'll see to it that these criminals are sent to the Shackling prison as soon as possible. Cleanup operation is already underway, Lieutenant Yanqing. So there's no need to worry about anything.
Thanks. By the way, you're an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad, right? I don't remember meeting you before.
Well, I'm just a junior officer. I recently returned to the Luofu from the front lines and was temporarily assigned here for security duty before the ceremony.
Those guys are terrifying.
Success.
This place is so warm. It's like
How time flies.
It's been a long journey, Elder Huayan. Thank you for your presence.
Don't mention it. Thank you for taking the time to welcome me.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express. Sure, how couldn't I have? It's not often we find such moments to reunite and enjoy one another's presence.
Since when did she and General Jing Yuan become such good buddies, Dan Heng? They seem to be having a great time.
A lot must have happened without our knowledge. At least, I hope that's the case.
Allow me to introduce you to General Huayan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming Heart.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Elder Huayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons. Such talents are unique, even among the Arbiter Generals.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty, and I had no choice but to answer the call. Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of disapproval.
It's an honor to meet you, General Huayan.
It's my honor to meet you, General Huayan.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Luofu, the same as all of you. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jing Yuan? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Indeed. There's Dan Heng, March 7th, and her. Without their help, I'm afraid the Luofu might not have easily overcome this crisis.
So, the Imbibitor Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Luofu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huayan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Luofu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Yun Li.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions then.
What a coincidence! I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh? Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
She helped me capture the escaped Borisin prisoners at the Starskiff Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
Yes, it is. Now that we've met again, I hope...
Nope, that won't do.
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Juming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield. As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped Borisin prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a kite with a broken string, and it missed its target. By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borisin prisoner would have gotten away.
Hold on a sec, Yun Li. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for Luofu's swordmasters.
What did you just say?
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. In front of everyone. With all due respect, you don't honor your sword, so you don't deserve it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful, because I'm not as easy to handle as the Borisin.
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yanqing.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
I don't take sides.
It's a small misunderstanding. and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship, most notably the legendary Flame Wheel Octet. Seeing Miss Yun Li, who is among those ranks today, well, I must say she definitely has that fiery edge.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yun Li is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered, so please forgive her if she's being rude.
Well, everyone, Elder Huayan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yang Qing, why don't you entertain our guests and take Miss Yun Li to the inn? I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for helping the Luofu during the crisis.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient time.
You needn't apologize, General Huayan.
All right, Yun Li. Take this opportunity to clear things up with Yanqing.
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just arrived in the Luofu and could use some help settling in.
Yang Qing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the IPC ship. Qingzhou sent word that the IPC members are protesting and wish to have their cargo back. See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou Luofu has no intention of violating their rights.
I'm on it.
This trip is totally worth it. Compared to the Zhu, the Luofu is so much livelier. But it's a shame the Luofu swordmasters don't seem that great. Glad to meet you too. Are you here to participate in the war dance? So, you're not a participant? You look like you know your way around a fight. Well, you can still sign up. The Cloud Knight's ring is always open to outsiders. That's how outsiders refer to my peers in the Zhu Cloud Knights and the Artisanship Commission. We all train under Grandpa's guidance, learning the art of craftsmanship and swordplay. That's how we got that title, I guess. Just don't mention it in front of Grandpa. He always says that empty titles bring pointless challenges and conflicts. We Zhu swordmasters pride ourselves on the success of the group over the individual. I have some things to do. Besides, little Yanqing doesn't seem too happy about me tagging along. Yeah, you're right. I took it with my skills. So I guess you can say I'm a robber or something. How dare he imply I'm a thief? Totally different. Besides, the sword seems scared of its own master. I'd like to ask him, you claim to cherish your sword as your life, yet you don't even recognize the state it's in right now? I didn't intend to keep his sword. I was planning to take this chance to return it to him. But now, I've changed my mind. I'll give that poor flying sword some proper maintenance. I won't consider returning the sword unless he learns how to say please, hello, thank you, and sorry. So he can forget about it for now.
I'm sorry for Yang Qing's rudeness.
Not at all. Taunted by Yun Li like that, even a training dummy would be angry. You've taught your apprentice well. If it were me in my younger days, I'm afraid I'd have drawn my sword and fought. Yan Qing can understand your concerns. On the other hand, Yun Li is still a naive girl who's only interested in swordplay. Honestly, I brought her here to participate in the war dance because I want to broaden her horizons.
Hey, Don Hung. I thought all the Xianzhou generals were like Jing Yuan. But that General Huaiyan, he looks so thin and scraggy, as if even a light breeze would knock him over. Is that old man really an Arbiter, General?
Well, each Xianzhou ship has its own division and specialty within the Alliance. Not all of the Arbiter generals are good at leading the charge. You heard what Jing Yuan said, right? General Huaiyan was once the head of all the skilled craftsmen on the Zhuming.
Don't you find it strange? Do Xianzhou people age? I rarely see any old people on the Xianzhou ship. And when I do, they're usually travelers. But General Huaiyan looks like an ordinary old grandpa. Is he really a Xianzhou general?
Good question. He's right there. So why don't you ask him yourself?
Nah, I'd like to live a little longer.
We should leave. General Jing Yuan asked Yan Qing to entertain us, so obviously, he has important matters to discuss. Let's not waste any time here.
This is the report Xianzhou just sent me. Let me take a look. Looks like the General has given me a tough challenge. He wants me to try and help put the IPC's mind at ease. Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, we not only learn the art of war and martial arts, but also occasionally have to handle diplomatic disputes. It's just, you know, talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield. This is especially true when you're up against the IPC, with their non-stop corporate babble. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
It is the Luofu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from the marshal?
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no ulterior motives. However, I have no clue what the Yaoqing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning. So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you. The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Luofu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yaoqing, she has come specifically for you. Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like lightning. Being late isn't her style.
That's not true, General Huaiyan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jingyuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huaiyan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here. Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat, I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword. No need to bother. The Juming envoys won't be leaving the Luofu anytime soon. I'll ask for it later when we meet again. By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the general seemed a little reserved. Could it be because of Elder Huaiyan's visit?
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Zhu Ming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yaoqing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jing Yuan, just like the crew, right?
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. I'm afraid they're here for something more. Maybe they've come to hold Jing Yuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Luofu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the victim?
Danshu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains, creating an endless source of potential complications.
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the plague mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Luofu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Or does it indicate a traitorous intent from within the Luofu, implicating Jing Yuan himself? Once the spark of suspicion is kindled, it proves hard to extinguish.
What was I thinking? Seriously, here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip. But it seems wherever we go, drama is just around the corner.
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Juming diplomatic ship has arrived, and rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu.
An alchemist from the Juming serving as the Cauldron Master on the Luofu? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself...
Thanks to your words, Mr. Danheng. Now I finally see the underlying tensions. The General is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles. How naive of me.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General, it's not like you can do anything. Did I say something wrong? Again?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the IPC's protest.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the IPC's workers could be tricky. I'm afraid this will cause trouble for the Express.
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? We've dealt with quite a few of them, right? Hey, who's bragging? Anyway, this time it'll just be a few ordinary IPC workers. Surely you don't think they'll be even trickier than Aventurine, do you?
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet them.
Mr. Squirrel?
Can I really reason with you Xianzhou people? I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning house, right?
But I am trying to reason with you here.
That toxic voice sounds familiar. Haven't I heard it before in Aurum Alley?
You know what? This isn't my first time dealing with the Skyfaring Commission. I can handle your unreasonable ways. But straight up snatching IPC cargo, isn't that going a bit too far?
Just as I've said it many times already. Once we've inspected the cargo and completed the security check, you can be on your way. Is there something wrong with your ears, or is it just your brain?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm thinking clear. And my answer is crystal clear. Not a chance. Keep detaining my cargo, and I'll file a complaint directly with your general. Don't think you can possibly convince me. Huh? Why are you here? You're staying on the Xianzhou, are you? What terrible luck. Wherever you go, disasters aren't far behind.
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
Trouble caused by the IPC? I'd say it's caused by the Skyfaring Commission.
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I was sent here to deal with the IPC protest, Miss Shikui. What's going on here?
As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it back to the dock for repairs and inspections. And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
So, you're Scott. I've heard her mention you. Weren't you kicked off the Luofu before? Why did you come back?
Like I wanted to come back. I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the ship entered the harbor, a bunch of Cloud Knights showed up and snatched all our cargo from the hold.
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you 1,000,000 times. It's a security check.
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal the IPC's patented technology!
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo hold. That's why they called me here, to double-check. Secondly, where the heck did you get the idea that I'm a shady craftsman?
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Luofu. We'll just fix the ship and be on our way. We won't unload our cargo here.
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again. How can we just leave unchecked items sitting here?
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the cargo if it's just a security check, right?
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also some substance that resembles biological tissue.
Biological tissue? Does this crate contain living things?
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination. But this IPC specialist has been hindering us on the grounds of patent secrecy.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection, there is no way for the Skyfaring Commission to release the cargo.
Oh, really? Fine! If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business. I'm filing a complaint against the Skyfaring Commission's ridiculous regulations.
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly, I really don't want to have a vicious confrontation with the IPC. I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right? Since you've dealt with him before, it looks like I'll have to rely on you again.
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our cargo.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and can only be persuaded with intimidation. But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against him.
Speaking of regulations, we have our own laws and regulations too. According to Article 4 of the Xianzhou Alliance IPC Trade Consensus, the Alliance and IPC shall never infringe on each other's intellectual property rights.
Back in Arum Alley, you were dealing with civilian merchants where you could use the IPC's name to scare them. But this time, the Cloud Knight Lieutenant standing before you represents the will of Luofu's general and won't be intimidated by your words.
Of course. I'm sure we both want a peaceful resolution.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, I want things to be resolved peacefully, but aren't we getting stuck in rigid formalities here? Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable, beyond your wildest imagination. If anything goes wrong, you won't be able to pay for it even with your lives.
Can you give us an exact amount, Mr. Scott? If there's any damage after the inspection, the Express... the Skyfaring Commission will compensate you.
The Skyfaring Commission. Yeah, they will compensate you, provided a detailed report of the damage is submitted.
I don't doubt the financial strength of the Skyfaring Commission. However, this is not just about money. Besides, the cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia Guild. If you want to inspect the cargo, shouldn't you at least call in a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
I'm pretty tight with Dr. Ratio from the Intelligentsia Guild, almost like family. Doesn't that make me practically a member of the Intelligentsia Guild too?
What's all this nonsense? Even if you were married to him, you still couldn't represent the Intelligentsia Guild. We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Xianzhou operate, right? As an IPC worker, I have to abide by its regulations. If I make an exception and allow you to inspect the cargo, it'll spell disaster for me.
Could you repeat that? I didn't quite hear you. Could you say it again? According to the principle of territoriality, since your vessel is stranded on the Xianzhou, the Skyfaring Commission has the right to inspect it.
Indeed. According to Article 27 of the Xianzhou Legal Code, all official and private goods upon entering the port shall be subject to inspection. Failure to submit to such inspection shall be deemed equivalent to the possession of unlawful items and shall be subject to legal ramifications.
Huh? My synesthesia beacon must not be working, because I have no idea what you just said.
Simply put, if you insist on hindering the inspection, we'll have to treat the cargo as unlawful items and confiscate it.
Confiscate it? How can you Xianzhou people be so unreasonable?
If this were pure point, and incoming cargo posed a safety risk, the IPC would take it in for containment and disposal, correct?
That's true, but the IPC sometimes makes exceptions. For example, they've always given special terms to Xianzhou vessels. We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Xianzhou operate, right? As an IPC worker,
Everyone has their own set of rules. Now that you're on their turf, shouldn't you follow their rules too?
yeah, I get it. I know I'm on the Xianzhou, but if I violate the IPC regulations, I'll be in deep trouble when I get back. Well, you guys sure know how to argue your case. Fine, I'll allow you to do the security inspection. It's just that, I need some time to sort things out. This is a big deal. Let me talk to headquarters first.
So, Mr. Scott, are you just stalling for time and planning to leave the Xianzhou as soon as your ship is repaired? To avoid the Skyfaring Commission's inspection?
Well, IPC staff are free to come and go, as long as they don't break any laws.
Yeah, you've got some insight there. Who are you again?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lingsha, Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu.
Could she be?
Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Xianzhou Zhuming.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself. It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and be on my way. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't inspect them.
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed a more reasonable attitude, we could have sidestepped that altercation just now. Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo. According to the import and export regulations signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no threat, or when all biological activity expires. Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only 47 years?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades. Have some confidence in yourself.
Ha! Typical of a long-life species. Your words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation from the Skyfaring Commission for every minute wasted.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this victory unfold.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection.
But, Mr. Scott...
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right? Well, honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman.
But you're still as annoying as ever.
This lady is really something else.
Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC.
Turn it off! Well, how unexpected. That was a surprise. Go Nuppy!
Annihilate.
Oh.
Are you all right? Stay back, Clara. Stay back, Clara.
Watch your head.
Help me, Mr. Storm!
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Liquidation! Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game! Yeah! Fight is fun! Go Nuppy! Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's way too dangerous.
I had no idea about it. You must have accidentally triggered the cargo's defense program.
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving. I swear on the Amber Lord.
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guest to the Skyfaring Commission.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Gentlemen, our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside, just like the craftsman feared. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological nerve as its control center.
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Luofu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge. I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Lingsha.
I should thank you for saving my life. Your sword skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy. I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yanqing to be so... Yeah, exactly. He's young and talented. As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Luofu from that crisis. It's so impressive.
It wasn't a big deal. Really.
It's still early, so why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing the commission.
I'd be happy to accept your invitation.
And you three are coming too, right?
The news is spreading pretty fast.
All these years, and the view at the Alchemy Commission hasn't changed a bit. The tides come and go, but the ancient sea remains the same. For us Vidyadhara, there's nothing more nostalgic than our homeland.
You're a Luofu native, Miss Lingsha?
Yes, I grew up here, listening to the sound of waves while researching prescriptions with my mentors and peers at the Alchemy Commission. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Everything changes but somehow remains familiar. Just like you, Dan Heng, I traveled far from home, and now I've returned. Seeing the familiar scenery brings back a hint of nostalgia.
The view here would be even better without the Ambrosial Arbor.
Oh, really? I think that towering tree looks pretty impressive.
Even if it's impressive, it's a plague mark. The Xianzhou have been fighting abominations for thousands of years. And now that the Ambrosial Arbor has been reborn, it's only natural for everyone to feel uneasy.
Well, once a seed is planted, no matter how long it takes, it'll eventually sprout and bear fruit. In my humble opinion, the rebirth of the Ambrosial Arbor and the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were inevitable. The seed was already planted when the ancestors of the Xianzhou sought immortality. My bad. Well, since you went through the entire Ambrosial Arbor crisis firsthand, Dan Heng and Lieutenant Yanqing, I'd like to discuss something with you.
What would you like to discuss, Miss Lingsha?
I was lucky enough to be chosen by the Alliance to come in and clean up all the old grime in the Alchemy Commission. Honestly, the Alchemy Commission is riddled with problems and has reached a point where fixing it seems impossible. I'm looking to remedy this problem, but was wondering if you could provide any insights.
Well, even though I'm a Vidyadharan like you, I'm an outsider, just like my companions here. I can't really say much about a remedy, but I do have a piece of advice, Miss Lingsha. The Vidyadhara and the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu have always been intricately connected. If you cannot distance yourself from these ties, Miss Lingsha, changing the situation within the Alchemy Commission may be quite challenging.
I may not know about politics, but I do know that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been operating within the Alchemy Commission for years. If you're determined to root them out, maybe you should discuss it with the General.
I see. Thank you for your valuable insights. While the Lux Arrow from the Rainbow possesses unparalleled power to sever the Ambrosial Arbor, it can't sever mortals' desire to prolong their existence. Just like how the Cloud Knights can eliminate the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but are unable to calm the hearts and minds of the people within the Alchemy Commission. Our Xianzhou forebears knew this well, and that's why they entrusted the duty of guarding the roots of the Arbor to the Vidyadhara. However, the Vidyadhara are still only mortal beings. 30 years ago, my mentor served as Alchemy Commission's Cauldron Master. She recognized the emerging undercurrents and sought to cleanse the source of the disturbance. Unfortunately, even though she was skilled in the art of healing, she didn't understand the human heart or how to eliminate the sickness lurking within the depths of the Alchemy Commission. In the end, she was framed and exiled to the Juming. I was also implicated and had to leave the Luofu. And guess who arbitrated the case and handed down the sentence? None other than General Jing Yuan himself.
What?
You heard it right. The ones responsible for the corruption in the Alchemy Commission are not just the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but even the Divine Foresight himself. Alas, why is your face turning pale, Yanqing? Don't worry about it. I understand that when someone holds a position of power, they may sometimes have to make tough decisions. I won't hold any personal grudges against him. Besides, at our age, holding personal grudges is a luxury we can't afford. Lingsha, you're back! I've been waiting ages for you. Yunli, why aren't you with your grandpa? What brings you to the Alchemy Commission? Well, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Yanqing.
What a small world. You stole my sword! Give it back!
I see. Let's skip the introduction part then. Why do I keep bumping into you? Are you stalking me or something?
Of course not. Unlike you, Miss Yunli, I have important things to take care of. You, on the other hand, seem to have all the time in the world to wander around without returning my sword.
Grandpa used to say that a sword reflects its master. I talked to your sword, and it told me that you've been distracted. You hesitate when you should strike, and you struggle to stay calm when your sword is unsheathed. Now that I see you again, I realize your sword was right. It wasn't me who took your sword. It was you who lost focus.
Do you really expect me to believe that nonsense? I've been taking it easy on you because you're a guest from the Juming, but you're not taking the hint. Don't people from the Juming know you're supposed to return what you've borrowed?
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, it'd just be taken away again in a few hours. You know the Cloud Knight saying, a Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon, yes? Well, sure, I can give it back to you now, but on the battlefield, that's a whole different story. Poor flying sword.
Fine! You don't have to give it back, because I'll take it back myself!
But which general should I call?
Between these two, who do you think is tougher? Don't get me wrong, I'm just curious.
It is my first day at the Alchemy Commission. A brawl is definitely not how I imagined celebrating it. Well, since you don't approve, I won't draw my sword here. I didn't mean it in that way. Since you've already drawn your swords, you'd be disappointed if you didn't get to test one another, right? I've received reports that the delves near the Alchemy Commission are still infested with abominations. Seems like my predecessors left quite a mess. So, if you two want to determine who's better, why not focus on them instead of each other? Clearing out some abominations? Sounds boring.
It's the Cloud Knight's duty to eliminate those abominations. You don't have to ask me twice, Miss Lingsha. I'll help you get rid of them.
Oh, you think you're the only one who knows how to behave? If Lingsha needs anything, I'll gladly draw my sword and help her out. It's so heartwarming to see both of you being so sweet and caring. So then, shall we get going? Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were eradicated, their experimental abominations have been festering here. If you want a contest, I'll be the referee. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins. Lingsha, as always, you're still an expert in making unpaid work sound so noble and grand. It's for your own good, little Yunli. While you desire to compete against each other, I don't want to see either of you getting hurt.
That's really thoughtful of you, Cauldron Master.
So, are you both ready? Ugh. Looks like my predecessors left quite a mess. Let me say it again. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins. Be careful when you draw your swords, and make sure you don't hurt each other. Can we start now, Lingsha?
Strike with heart! Liquidation! Bladed flight!
I didn't expect someone who can't even hold on to his sword to actually have some skill. Investing in victory means playing the long game! Descend to earth! You've got style with those moves, but you're not striking where it counts. It's such a shame to see you misuse your sword like that.
Watch your head.
Go Nappy!
Strike with heart!
Eliminating front.
Help me, Mr. Sora!
This will come back.
Bladed flight! Swords descend!
Through clouds!
Liquidation!
Are you all right?
I'm okay!
Stay back, Clara.
Watch your head.
Help me, Mr. Sora! Strike with heart!
Annihilate. As you command. As you command.
Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game! Blade and flight! Into earth! Help me, Mr. Sora!
As you command.
Watch your head. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Strike with heart! Swords descend!
I win, Miss Yunli!
You got lucky.
Why don't you just give me back my sword, sincerely apologize, and then go cry your eyes out to your grandpa? Consider yourself lucky that I'm not interested in your rusty sword, as I don't have the nasty habit of snatching other people's weapons.
All you did was chop down a few monsters. Don't get carried away with yourself. If you think you can just take this sword from my hand, go ahead and try.
Well fought, my young friends. However, both of you have shortcomings. One of you focuses on dodging and weaving, while the other relies on brute strength, trying to take down targets with a single strike.
Who are you?
Me? I'm just a patient seeking medicine from the Alchemy Commission. A passerby, if you will. I thought I'd see my fill of impressive fights during the war dance. Yet here I am, able to witness a remarkable fight at the Alchemy Commission, of all places. Well, the Luofu is never short of surprises. However, I have a small suggestion for you. Why don't you settle this dispute fair and square in the war dance's ring? That way, you can resolve your differences with a proper duel and put your grudges behind you.
Grudges? No, not at all. Yunli and we were just sparring.
Sparring? You summoned your flying swords and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you. I don't believe it.
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Fei Xiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady? Fei Xiao? Grandpa always talks about you. Could it be that you are...
The Merlin's Claw of the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Looks like I'm quite famous on the Xianzhou Luofu, too.
Of course.
everyone has heard of the great general, known to all and unbeknown to none.
Great General? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Luofu, so I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Fei Xiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet? Here's your sword. Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat you fair and square next time we fight.
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of divine foresight. I'll take my leave, General Fei Xiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite you to the seat of divine foresight for a chat with General Jingyuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Thanks for stepping in, General Fei Xiao. Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills. We don't do credit here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of divine foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air. Back already? You've met with Jing Yuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you think?
It appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Luofu is prospering after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move, and the Luofu could be in a world of chaos.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jing Yuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with generals. I'm just a military healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chats with two generals?
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals the true measure of power. Thanks for enlightening me, General.
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing thanks to your translation. You've made me lose where I was now. Anyway, this is how I operate in battle, so you might as well get used to it.
Are you treating General Jingyuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Luofu. do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you. Actually, I've found some leads.
Well, life and death, Zhao Chou. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou's spearhead, hunting down the abominations of abundance till the end of my days. As long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire, I don't care how long I live. You asked if I view General Jing Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been myself.
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Jeez. You really know how to read the room, don't you?
You guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend I've not seen for quite a long time.
Hey! Was that the Yaoqing general who just dropped in out of nowhere? Oh, she's so awesome! I mean, when Yun Li swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked her attack with ease.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive, you know? That aura of heroism and grace, it almost makes me want to learn Xianzhou swordplay. You think so too, right? Can't you put a little more enthusiasm into it?
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled swordmasters out there, seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel a bit uneasy again.
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can prevail against most challengers.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Danheng. By the way, now that today's events are over, General Jing Yuan wants to invite all of you to the Seat of Divine Foresight. He has something important to discuss.
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yaoqing and the Zhuming.
I really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Fei Xiao and Huaiyan can see the truth. We don't need any more chaos on the Luofu before the war dance.
Need your extractor cleaned or your stars?
I don't believe in ghosts. Cultured people love visiting here.
What is your purpose for entering the Seat of Divine Foresight?